Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Dr. Govinda Kesari's health condition turns critical on his 24th day of hunger strike. Negotiated outcome remains elusive. Parliament fails to force consensus. Remark made by Law Minister Thamang regarding women MBBS students in Bangladesh draws widespread criticisms. Minister Thamang issues an apology. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani warns the US that war with Iran would be the mother of all wars. Does not rule out the possibility of a peace agreement. And organizing the 13th South Asian Games in Nepal remains a challenge. Construction of all required infrastructures within 8 months unlikely. Let us now begin with the latest national political updates. The health condition of Dr. Govinda Kesari, who has been staging his latest round of fast unto death protest for 24 days now, with demands of improvement in the national medical education sector and health services, is deteriorating by the day. His supporters have been protesting against the government's indifference towards saving his life and addressing his demands. Following suggestions of his doctors, Dr. Kesari's blood pressure and pulses were checked. His blood pressure has drastically dropped while pulses are unstable. Furthermore, issues related to chest pain and dizziness have been reported. Dr. Kesari is yet to agree to undergo treatment. The government had put forward its first condition of bringing Dr. Kesari to Kathmandu for dialogue. However, dialogue is yet to be held despite the lapse of 4 days since Dr. Kesari's forced arrival in Kathmandu from Jumla on a military helicopter. Dr. Kesari is firm in his stand of holding a meeting with a ministerial level team. Dr. Kesari began his 15th round of fast unto death protest in Jumla, saying that the government had ignored the medical education ordinance and the report prepared by the Mathema Commission. Supporters of Dr. Kesari initiated a mass hunger strike organized by Solidarity for Dr. Kesari Alliance at Kathmandu's Basantapur, demanding to save Dr. Kesari's life. Meanwhile, the student wing of the ruling Communist Party of Nepal, along with 4 other student unions, have demanded putting an end to the political interventions in Dr. Kesari's protest and nationalization of all private medical colleges or their transformation into not-for-profit trusts, among others. The meeting of the Parliament was postponed for a week to force consensus on the National Medical Education Bill. Despite the next Parliament meeting slated for the 27th of July, agreement on the bill remains to be reached. Dialogue has been limited to formality as the ruling party and the opposition have remained firm in their respective stance. The Speaker of the Parliament had postponed the parliamentary proceedings on the 19th of July for a week as the main opposition, Nepali Congress, had continuously obstructed the Parliament to halt the medical education bill and also demanding for the protection of Dr. Govinda Kesari's life. The government is yet to table on the registered bill at the Parliament Secretariat due to the opposition's protest. Discussions held to resume the parliamentary proceedings also remain inconclusive. One-way dialogue has been held between Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Communist Party of Nepal co-chairman Pushpakamal Tahal and Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Deua to find a common ground on the bill. However, both the parties remain firm in their respective stances. Nepali Congress is in favor of the introduction of the bill based on the expired ordinance, while the Communist Party of Nepal is firm regarding concluding the registered bill through parliamentary proceedings. The formulation of other laws and issues have remained stranded at the Parliament because of the continuous obstruction. The government has failed to gain the confidence of the opposition, while the opposition has continued to obstruct the proceedings. In brief, the Parliament remains entangled in political power competition. The statement made by Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Sherbahadur Thamang on the female students pursuing their medical education in Bangladesh has drawn widespread criticism. In a statement, Minister Thamang stated that female students studying in Bangladesh had to sell themselves to receive their certificates of MBBS. Following immense pressure, Minister Thamang has apologized for his statement in a press release which is issued yesterday. However, the apology has not put an end to the issue yet. A farewell and felicitation program was being held at a private school in Chabel, Kathmandu on Friday afternoon. Chief guest Minister Thamang made controversial statement at the program which hurt the sentiment of Nepalese women. The statement made by a public representative in capacity of a minister was a trending topic for animosity in social networking sites with equivalent rage from the public. Following widespread protests, the minister ultimately had no alternative but to apologize through a press release. Prior to this, Durga Prasad, a controversial operator of a medical college, had issued a similar statement on female students pursuing their MBBS in Bangladesh. Spokesperson of National Human Rights Commission, Mohana Ansari, had drawn the attention of National Human Rights Commission Chairman Anupra Sharma, urging for a clarification from the government regarding the statements made by Minister Tamang and Prasad. More than 2,000 female students are currently studying medicine in Bangladesh. Out of the 362 students that left for Bangladesh this year, 22% are female. The Nepal Medical Council has also expressed concern regarding the statements of Minister Tamang and Prasad. Individuals making statements that hurt the dignity of women can also be punished by the law. The irresponsible statements made by Minister Tamang and controversial businessman Prasad have insulted women. It is believed that some sort of action must be taken to discourage such a practice. It is now time for a short break, but for more news, do stay with us. Climate change does not just affect the nature, its direct impact is also seen in human health. While the increase in temperature has been melting the mountains, diseases previously seen in the hot regions are now becoming epidemics even at relatively cold, hilly and mountainous regions. Malaria had already been eradicated in the Tarai region a long time back, but a total of 186 people had fallen ill due to the disease in Mugu last year. Dengue, which was reported in Tarai districts 11 years ago, is now being seen in mountainous and high hilly districts. Malaria and dengue are communicable diseases caused by mosquito bites. Mosquitoes that are usually found at an altitude of 2,000 meters above sea level are now reaching the mountainous districts as a consequence of climate change. According to National Health Research Council, the temperature is increasing by 0.04% each year in Nepal. This has led to the existence of diseases usually reported in hot climatic conditions, even at the mountainous region. According to researchers, the increase in temperature by 1 degree Celsius increases waterborne diseases, including diarrhea and dysentery, by 4.4%. Likewise, the increase in diseases like Kala-Jar or black fever, Japanese encephalitis, scrub typhus, cancer and diabetes is also induced by climate change. Climate change is no longer just related to agriculture and ecosystem. Therefore, it is imperative to avoid any delay in the formation of a long-term strategy to minimize risks seen in human health. Welcome back. Yesterday, we had asked the residents of Kathmandu, Dhading and Hetauda what's their take on the remark made by Law Minister Sherbal Tamang regarding the Nepalese female students pursuing their MBBS degree in Bangladesh. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
यो बारेमा बंगलादेश सरकारको पनि धारणा आउनु पर्दछ र कानुन मन्त्रीले तुरुन्त भन्दा तुरुन्त नैतिकताको आधारमा राजीनामा दिनुपर्छ।
केही दिन अगाडि एकजना बीएनसी का सञ्चालकको बोलीकै लाइनमा उहाँले ठ्याक्कै त्यस्तै खालको जुन अभिव्यक्ति दिनुभएको छ त्यो नेपाली नारीको अस्मितामाथि उहाँले प्रश्न चिन्ह उठाउनु भएको छ। कानुन मन्त्री जस्तो व्यक्तिले त्यस्तो प्रश्न उठाउनु भनेको गैर जिम्मेवारपूर्ण अभिव्यक्ति हो।
दुःख गरेर ऋण गरेर भए पनि पढ्न त्यो ठाउँमा पठाइरहेका छौं। त्यो अवस्थामा आफ्नो बच्चा पढ्न गएको अवस्थामा चाहिँ छोरीलाई अमला उठाएर त्यो मन्त्रीले बोल्ने धावा कसले अधिकार दियो त्यो मन्त्रीलाई?
कानुन मन्त्री बन्न लायक मान्छे हैन। एउटा राजनेता भनेको अथवा एउटा राजनीति गर्ने मान्छेले भनेको देशको शासन पद्धतिलाई सुधार गर्ने हो।
कानुनको एकदमै हाई लेभलको मान्छेले नै त्यस्तो शब्दहरू बोल्नुहुन्छ भने हामी कसलाई विश्वास गर्ने हैन? हामी विश्वास गर्न त कसलाई गर्ने भन्ना पनि कसको कुरा पत्याउने र हामी कसरी अगाडि बाँच्ने?
उहाँलाई पनि कानुनी दायरामा ल्याउनु पर्ने अवस्था देखिन्छ।
गार्जनको रूपमा उहाँले देशको लागि संरक्षक गर्नुपर्ने महिलालाई भने उहाँलाई महिला देशकै नेपाली चेलीबेटीहरू चाहिँ लान्छना लाउने जस्ता कुरा गर्नुभयो। यो सरासर गलत हो र उहाँलाई कानुनको दायरामा ल्याउनु पर्छ।
कानुन मन्त्रीले भने अनुसार जुन हाम्रो चेलीबेटीहरूले जुन अवस्था भोगेर बसिरहनु भएको छ भने उहाँले के हेरेर बसिरहनु भएको थियो? उहाँहरूको उद्धार गर्नुपर्ने थियो कि थिएन?
यो कानुन मन्त्रीले तुरुन्त राजीनामा दिनुपर्छ। अघि यसरी हाम्रा चेलीबेटीको अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय स्तरमा हाम्रो बेइज्जत भयो, बेइज्जत। त्यसैले यो कानुन मन्त्रीलाई 1 मिनेट पनि यो कुर्सीमा बस्ने अधिकार छैन।
यो देशमा केपी ओली बाहेक अरूको सरकार हुन्थ्यो भने सायद आज शेरबहादुर तामाङ र दुर्गा प्रसाद जस्ता व्यक्तिहरू जेल गइसकेका हुन्थे। आज उनीहरू खुल्लमखुल्ला हिँडिरहेका छन्। यो हाम्रो दुर्भाग्यको विषय हो।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, why has the construction of required infrastructures failed to gain momentum despite the South Asian Games nearing? Your options are A. Lack of spending capacity, B. Sports sector plagued by other sectors, and see trend of working at the 11th hour. The voting is on. You can type any WS, select your option A, B or C and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
The 13th South Asian Games SAG, scheduled to be held in Nepal in 8 months' time, is certain to include 27 games, the highest number of games in history. However, questions have surfaced regarding Nepal's ability to host the tournament because of the delay in preparation and construction of the required infrastructures, while doubts are increasing regarding Nepal's ability to manage the increased number of games. The issue that has been widely spoken of since Nepal being assigned with the responsibility of hosting the sporting tournament of the highest magnitude in South Asia is infrastructure. The probability of Nepal ensuring all the required infrastructures within 6 months to prove its ability of hosting the South Asian Games is minimal. The first example of this scenario is the current status of the Dashrath Stadium. The National Sports Council has been claiming of completing the works of parapet within 3 months, followed by assigning the responsibility of the remaining works to a Chinese company. However, the works related to the parapet were put on hold for some time because of a case filed at the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIAA). Based on the witnessed repeated obstructions, chances of the completion of Dashrath Stadium for the South Asian Games appear faint. Nepal has not searched for an alternative venue in case the stadium is not completed on time. The stadium is scheduled to hold the inauguration and closing ceremonies, along with a few games of significance. The situation is such that one cannot breathe a sigh of relief regarding the condition of other infrastructures, including the likes of covered hall and swimming pool, among others. All such infrastructures are under construction. All the events of the South Asian Games are scheduled to be held in Pokhara and Kathmandu. However, the plight regarding the infrastructures is also the same in Pokhara. The works of Pokhara Stadium have been obstructed because of tender procedures, while all the interior works of the multi-purpose covered hall are yet to begin. The government had allocated around 2 billion rupees for the South Asian Games as well as the 8 national games and Asian Games. However, the National Sports Council is in a state of dilemma regarding spending the amount for the construction of the infrastructures and for the preparation of the athletes. The question that we now face is if the South Asian Games scheduled between the 9th to the 19th of March would be postponed in the last hour because of the lack of budget and sound infrastructure. This very issue is currently being widely spoken of in the nation's sports sector. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Dr. Govinda Kesey's health condition turns critical on his 24th day of hunger strike. Negotiated outcome remains elusive. Parliament fails to force consensus. Remark made by Law Minister Tamang regarding women MBBS students in Bangladesh draws widespread criticisms. Minister Tamang issues an apology. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani wants the US that war with Iran would be the mother of all wars, however does not rule out the possibility of a peace agreement. And organizing the 13th South Asian Games in Nepal remains a challenge. Construction of all required infrastructures within 8 months unlikely. That is all for the moment. Our next news bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.